Hey, this is Tanya, creator of the Acupressure Reiki technique. Today is our fourth video on the series in Meridians, based on the traditional Chinese medicine module. And today's pair is the heart and the small intestine meridian. They pair together and they help each other out in keeping things flowing. Of course, the heart meridian is our life force. without the heart, that organ, we wouldn't be here. And the small intestine actually helps the heart out because the small intestine meridian, it sorts and clarifies information for the heart to receive and to help keep us vital. So it's quite interesting how those two compare together. You wouldn't think of the small intestine being a helper to the heart, but it's not just about the digestion. The meridian actually runs down the arms. So the heart meridian is the yin meridian, and it runs from, of course it originates in the heart space, but it actually begins in the center of the armpit. And then it flows down the inside of the arm, down the inside of the forearm, and it stops at the inside edge of your little finger. And then that's where the small intestine meridian picks up on the outside of the little finger. And it traces around the outside, along the outside, up your arm, and then it makes its way to the back of your shoulder, and it kind of zigzags around in your shoulder blade, and then it comes up through the neck into the jaw, kind of makes a little detour in the cheek there, and then the front of the ear is where it ends. So the small intestine not only governs digestion, it also governs the scapula and the shoulder blade. So if you have pain in your shoulders and your arms, arthritis, the small intestine needs to be worked on. You probably have a blockage. And also for tinnitus, throat pain, sore throats, headaches, because it comes up here and around your neck. So that being said, that's why they work together. And I'm going to show you a couple of little techniques that you can do to open up your heart space and to open up that small intestine meridian. You will always want to work on them together because they are a pair and they work together. So if you're having shoulder pain, you would work on the small intestine meridian a little bit longer, but you would also work on the heart meridian. Generally, you want to begin with the heart meridian, but if you're having more small intestine indications, then work on the small intestine first, as long as you work on both. So the heart meridian is basically opening up space. We want to open up that channel to receive and to give love. It's in our heart chakra. So we want to be compassionate and loving. And so there's a couple of techniques that we can do, some breathing techniques. And one is taking your little pinkies, and pulling them together, because remember, the heart meridian ends on the inside of your little finger. So interlace those together, put your arms at heart level, and then I want you to take a deep inhale, starting in your belly, and you inhale up, and then you exhale down. Inhale up, and then exhale down. And do that for about 3 minutes and see how you feel. And that opens up your heart space. And you can also, in a meditation, put your hands together and use your thumb knuckles right where your heart space is. This is your central vessel, your conception vessel, and that's where your heart originates from. So you press into that and you take a few deep breaths as well. And do that for a couple of minutes, just being mindful and intentional of what you're doing. If you have anxiety, any kind of anxiety or even grief, this is a good meditation for that. And these meridians also help with hot flashes, insomnia. So any emotional aspects, the heart meridian and the small intestine meridian are going to help you out in that way. Like I said, if you have shoulder, arm pain, there are exercises for that as well. So for instance, you open up your shoulder, so you can start here and just inhale and open up as far and wide as you can, and then come back together, almost closing your palms. Exhale, and then inhale all the way out, and then you can exhale and you can kind of curl your back in when you exhale. That's a good shoulder opener too. So I hope that this has helped you, and I hope that you try some of these tips. If you have any questions or comments, please like and comment on this video and share it with your friends. And thank you for watching.